The artwork we covered was The Birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli, and it was created in 1484 to 1486. My name is James.
My name is Kiron Valenti, and here's the man himself, Sandro Botticelli. This is the only known self-portrait we have of the man. He was born in 1445 and lived until 1510. It must be noted, though, he was born in a relatively poor part of Florence, Italy. However, despite this, he still grew into social status due to his many connections that he made, most notably made through Fra Filippo Lippi, who was an artist known for simple yet beautiful drawings and clarity of line of female figures. Lippi was his patrons were the Medici family, the most powerful Italian family at the time, and they would soon become patrons of Botticelli, opening up many possibilities for him, even including decorating for the Pope. However, it was not just Lippi who influenced him. He also had Antonio del Paolo, who was known for his knowledge of the human anatomy and renditions of the human body. Due to this, Botticelli was able to take what he learned from Antonio and develop his own style of the human body, one that had distortions in it and one that was not perfect. This was further supplemented by Andrea del Ferrocci, a sculptor, and this is seen in his paintings where his figures have sculptured contours to them. It's also to be noted that due to him growing up in a poor area, he worked as a goldsmith for the first part of his life, for his early life, which plays into the idea that most artists weren't just, artists for the sake of being an artist. They were a tradesman turned artist. So they always had a trade to fall back onto when they needed it. Now, the title of the subject, The Birth of Venus, of course. It's to note that The Birth of Venus is almost like a prequel to The Primavera, which was a second artwork that Botticelli made, and the two are often compared and contrasted to each other. Now, why is that the case? It's due to the fact that Venus is a great player in both of them. She's the subject of both paintings. She's accompanied by different figures. In this case, she's accompanied by Zephyr, a nymph, and then Hora of the spring, and all that. But she takes center stage. Her stanch, her marble-like skin. That was a big point Botticelli wanted to sell. The marble-like skin she had, almost like a sculpture, showing his influence from Andrea. Her hair, her face, the details within her face, these are things he wanted to sell. The reason behind that was because she was heavily inspired by Simonetta Catone de Vespucci, who was considered the most beautiful woman of Florence, Italy, and was the object of Botticelli's infatuation. Essentially, he was painting the woman he loved but could not have. He even is quoted as saying, "Bear me at the feet of my muse." And it actually happened. And to me, because the significance to me is that the Christian viewpoint of this is that Venus is supposed to represent like Mother Mary, the start of everything. Because Venus is seen as the humanitas, or the symbol of development of human virtue, or humanitas. Now, the date itself, 1484 to 1486, right? It's just about to hit 1500. Italian Renaissance is like high peak, right? There's the reemergence of classical values, the new philosophy of humanism. Historically, the artwork itself wasn't really well liked at the time. It only gained its infamy in the 19th century, but as of right now, the Medici family who commissioned it and the Primavera well, wants to see it. The work could not have been created at any other point, though, due to the fact that the Medici family would be ousted from power in 1494, meaning there would be no one there to commission it.
The material work was used for Birth of Venus was tempera. Tempera can be defined by its brightness and yellowish hue due to the use of egg yolk for creating tempera. The Birth of Venus is a painting made out of two canvases combined together due to its large size. The reasoning for the usage of canvas was likely due to being quite cheap and to use, and the work being a commission work to be hung on a wall in the Medici family house or the marital bedroom. The usage of tempera, aside from its fast-drying property, was for great precision in the artwork and bringing out the fine details with steely lines, crisp edges, meticulous detail, and rich linear textures to really bring out the sculptural details for each individual within the painting. Another detail regarding the painting is that it was done after the period where the subjects within the painting, gods or humans, were clothed. This led to the original value of humanism being locked away until the Italian Renaissance period, where the artist redeveloped humanistic artwork, and this is shown through Venus being nude. The tempera painting style that Botticelli used really brought out the value and fine details of the human body to the painting, and thus this wonderful painting with its great details was. The medium to the artwork did not matter too much, but was likely used, as stated before, due to being hung in a room and for its cheap cost, whereas the material mattered more because without it, we would not be able to really understand the painting and its detail of the human body, or essentially the humanistic value would essentially be less valuable, which would lower the overall quality of the purpose of the painting. The size of the work is 172.5 by 278.5 centimeters, which is pretty big in comparison to other paintings at the time. This size was achieved by two canvases sewn together. The size of the painting was likely due to really showing off the painting of Venus being nude, and both the size of the work and Venus being nude was very unorthodox for its time of creation. The Birth of Venus today can be located at La Gallery degli Uffizi, or better known as Uffizi Gallery, and at the time of its creation was located in the Medici family's house marital bedroom, hung on a wall. The first people to view the painting aside from the artist himself was the commissioners, which was someone within the Medici family. The Medici family likely perceived the work as a well-developed painting. We aren't quite sure regarding this due to the lack of information regarding this, but we can guess that the Medici family were pleased because they requested some type of painting like this, but the people outside of the Medici family were not, as this was a newly reintroduced art type of nude subjects. And as I was saying, as he was saying before, the time period, people did not like nude subjects in the paintings, but the Medici family themselves did. At the time of its creation, it was not an object of high esteem to regular individuals outside of the Medici family. And the Medici family likely praised its beauty. When more and more artwork of this type, which was the humanistic artwork, was developed and painted, then people probably saw the value and the beauty of the painting and then praised. The purpose of the artwork was originally as an artwork within the house to be viewed, and the purpose has changed over time as the artwork or art has moved to a public museum to be shown to any viewers that travel to Uffizi Gallery for its beauty.